Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about why I like WordPress. I use WordPress for my website. It's also what we use for my Build Your Website program and for my website starter kits. I made the decision to go with WordPress when I first started on my health coaching journey. It wasn't a difficult one for me to make, honestly. So when I was starting nutrition school, I knew that I needed a website. And I wasn't necessarily super happy with the websites that the school was offering. My other options were really to use Blogger, which I had used before. When I was studying abroad in Mexico, I had a blog and I blogged regularly, and I found Blogger super easy to use, but there wasn't a ton that you could do with it. So I decided to start with WordPress.com and give it a go and see if I could figure this new platform out. I really liked it. I think I only used WordPress.com for maybe 3 months, and then I just decided to jump in and go with WordPress.org. I bought my domain, I bought my hosting. I think the problem that most people have when they're trying WordPress is that they're overthinking it. WordPress is actually super easy once you figure it out. The number one question that I'm asked when I'm talking to clients is,
why WordPress? I could use my nutrition school website. I could get one through Wix or Weebly or Squarespace or any number of other platforms, and they're either going to be free or super cheap, and they're going to be crazy easy for me to figure out.
WordPress doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be difficult. Here is why I personally chose WordPress and why I love it and recommend it to everyone. I didn't want my website to look like anyone else's. Using the website that I could have gotten from school, my website would have looked just like everyone else's. And if I had a client who Googled health coaches and they came across 10 different results, I was hoping that my result would be the one to sell them because I didn't look like those 9 other ones. I also wanted to have full control over my website. I wanted to make sure that every aspect of it was exactly how I wanted it and not some pre-written format of what anyone else wanted it to look like. To be completely my own and not part someone else's. I didn't want to be advertising for anyone but myself because this business is me. It's not here to advertise for my school or for another website platform or anything else like that. SEO, search engine optimization. I've heard this as a reason to go with someone else's website or someone else's platform a ton. SEO on some of those other platforms may be optimized. But in the example of my nutrition school website, it's optimized for my school, not for my business. And if I go with WordPress, there are super easy plugins to use. I knew that I was starting at the beginning and I was starting small, but I have big dreams and I want my website to be able to grow with me. I don't want to come across that one thing that my website can't do and then have to start over again on a different platform. And if you start on some of those other platforms, you absolutely are going to find something that they can't do. And when you decide that it's time to start over and move to something different, you are starting from scratch. Period. End of story. You don't want all of that time that you put into it going down the drain. You don't want to lose all of that content you created. And quite frankly, do you really want to start over? I wanted to be the owner of everything I created. I still do. I'm putting my time and energy into it. I don't want someone else to own it. With some of those other platforms, everything that you create is actually the property of someone else. They can use it however they want, and you have no control over it. Hosting is something that sounds super scary. But it's really important to have a host that you love and that you're comfortable paying. You can get a host who is just terrible, and you can get a host that's awesome. I get to choose. It's up to me to choose who I want to give my money to. But if I'm using any of those other platforms, I'm relying on their choice in hosting. and I have absolutely no control over my speed. I can't fire a host if they're being slow on any of those other platforms. One of the super cool things about WordPress is that there's so many people out there that use it, so there's so many options to choose from. Between themes and plugins, there is like an infinite number of combinations that you can put together to make your website uniquely yours and completely what you want it to be. You're not stuck within a framework that limits you. I would say the biggest reason that I chose WordPress is that it's so widely used and there is so much free support out there. I don't have to rely on waiting for a 1-800 number to answer my questions. I can jump on Google, type in my question, and I guarantee that within 5 minutes, I'll have my question answered. Okay, so another reason that I love WordPress is that it's all me. I don't have to rely on anyone else. I don't have to trust that another business is going to stay in business for my website to stay up. I don't have to go to a designer all the time to have them make any changes to my website. I also love that it's up to me to make all of the decisions and I don't have to wait for someone else to do it for me. If I want to try something new and give it a try for a week, I can, and if it sucks and I don't like it, I can get rid of it myself. And the biggest reason that I chose WordPress.org over WordPress.com is that within the terms and conditions that you agree to in using WordPress.com, you actually agree to not using the website for business. So if you're thinking about WordPress at all, the obvious answer there for health coaching is to go with WordPress.org. So I could probably keep going forever with why I love WordPress. You're not advertising for anyone but yourself. This is your business. You want it to be you. I honestly don't think that you can dream too big with WordPress. Anything that you do and want to do in the future, you can make happen somehow. So that's why I use WordPress and why I recommend it to everyone. I think it's fabulous, and I don't know that I've ever had an issue that I couldn't somehow solve. Yes, I've been frustrated, and yes, there are things that I've given up on for the time being, but I've always gone back and figured it out. So that's kind of it. I encourage you to give it a try. If you have any questions or concerns, or you've given it a try and you want to tell me how much you love it, leave me a comment below, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.